All right, last time we did packet A, and that was on the derivative of the natural log. Now we're going to do the antiderivative of natural log. So if our integrand is 1 over x, whose derivative gives us that would be the natural log, and we need to know to the absolute value. Because we need to make sure that our domain is limited for that function. So when it pops out, you need to write the absolute value. We could have some sort of U substitution, all right, or a chain rule process. So you got to make sure that you're setting up for your U substitution, which is why U substitution comes before chapter 5. So we have 14 examples. They are not all on natural log, but get you the idea of this working backwards process. So I can see that I have this 1 over x idea, so I need to use a U substitution so that it is exactly 1 over x. And as you go through this a few times, you're going to see that you can do this sort of in your head. Just back substitute, and then we're good to go. All right, looking at example 2, we have different powers now. Same idea. I see that the degree in the bottom is larger, so I'm going to take that denominator and set that as a U substitution. So I've got to force my -3 and counter with a -1/3. All right, there is a negative sign that wasn't. Drop the page. All right, rolling on to example 3. Same, we see our, even if before that we did natural log, you can notice that it's a U substitution process. So I'm going to take my U as that composite function. Going to force a -2 on the top, counter with a -0.5 on the outside. All right, and you can see that this is thrown in there in example 3 because this is not a natural log. This is not 1 over x. This is just a power rule backwards. So you need to be able to recognize that just because it's 1 over something is not the natural log. It's got to be just 1 over x. There's no other power, no other sum or difference. It's just the one identity. All right, so our 2 is an exponent on our argument, so that means we can bring it in front as a coefficient, which means we can bring it in front of our integral altogether. All right, this 1 over x, ln of x, is actually a very common problem you're going to see. So you don't actually see a composite function. So we're going to take the natural log, because I see the derivative of natural log is 1 over x, and I can see the 1 over x in the problem. So then that transfers into my du, and then my natural log of x is my u. And then back substitute. So I've got the absolute value of the natural log. And then if you want to throw another absolute value on that x, just to overdo the domain, you're not wrong. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next one here. A couple ways to do this one. I think I would just distribute this out. No, I don't think I would do that. So if I take Which one do you want to take? Because if we distribute it out, we have two different terms with x in it. We're looking for some sort of a u substitution. So let's just pick one. Let's see what happens here. So if I take the binomial and I take my du, so then that would be 1/3 x to the negative 2/3 dx. Well, I have the negative 2/3 and the dx. I just need the 1/3. So if I force a 1/3, I'm going to counter with a 3. So that means I've got 1 over u du. So we just needed a little bit of insight on which one to pick and not use that distributive property. So it would be the natural log of u, but I know that u is the quantity 1 plus x to the 1/3 power. It is a challenge for the absolute value bars with your ln's and your 1's because you have a lot of vertical lines here, so take note somehow. Make one larger. Adjust your font size. All right, so looking at this guy, we see that there is a composite. So if I change this to a u, I don't see that really doing much for us. But if I take this whole thing as my u, let's see if that does something for us. Because the derivative of 1 is going to be 0, so that's like a non-issue. All right, so then if I take my derivative, okay, so we're going to have a chain rule within that u sub. So that is a violation of your u substitution. You can't have a chain rule within a u sub because you're trying to get rid of a chain rule. All right, so we can't do that one. Let's back up. So that means I've got to have my u is the square root of 2x. So then my, take that back. Not the square root, just the 2x. So then my du is 2 dx. So then I need to have a 2. I need to counter with a half. So then I've got my half. And then I've got 1 over 1 plus the square root of u du. All right, so then I would say, based on what we have so far, now our choices are really going to be a conjugate or another u substitution. So let's try another u substitution, and you don't want to use u again, so we're going to use v. Okay, so we do not have our 1 over 2 square root of u to switch out, but we're going to use some manipulation here to move our pieces to see if this is going to work out. So if I multiply both sides by 2 square root of u, I understand I've got u's and v's on the same side, but I think it'll be a little more clear on how we're getting to our result here. So then I've got 1 over v in the denominator, and to switch out my du, I just solved for du just to make it a little clearer. All right, so I agree we cannot have u's and v's in the same integrand as we currently have written here, but I'm going to go back and substitute out my square root of u, and I can just minus 1 to both sides there. So then I'm still going to have my 1/2 on the outside of my integral. I'm going to have 1 over v, that doesn't change. And let's do a bracket. So then that square root of u is going to turn into a v minus 1. All right, so all the pieces of the puzzle are going okay so far. So then I've got 1 over v. And then in my bracket, I'm going to have 2v minus 2. And then I'm just going to split my denominator. All right, so then, right, if I wrote it underneath each term here, right, then the v's are going to cancel and my 2's are going to cancel. So this is going to be gone. So I'm going to have a 1 dv, And then noting my subtraction here, I'm going to just split it up to be two different integrals. My 1/2 would still be here, but that's going to cancel with the 2 as well. So then I'm going to have the integral of 1 over v dv. So then my antiderivative is going to be v minus the natural log of the absolute value of v plus c. And now we've got a back substitute here. So we're going to go back to what v equals. So then that's really 1 plus the square root of u. We'll put that in a quantity so we can see the subtraction a little cleaner. Absolute value of 1 plus square root of u plus c. And then we're going to go further back. And we've got to go all the way to what u equals. U is equal to 2x, so we're going to switch those out as well. All right, so then over here I've got my u equals 2x, so we're going to switch those out. So then I've got the quantity 1 plus the square root of 2x minus the natural log of the absolute value of 1 plus the square root of 2x plus c. So that was a double u substitution technique that was needed to solve that question. We're going to stop the video here, and then we'll make a second video for the second part.